So, episode 2, our third episode, first episode was character creation, etc. That was Dire Skies. Such a beard.
I don't want to go dig out the boa. I don't. So I honestly, it was pretty funny to me when you became part of this group, because David has a particular hatred for that particular boa.
Was that the episode you wore the feather boa, or was that when you gained the beard?
That's where I gained the beard, and I think the next episode I wore the boa, but...
Right. So this, you ran into a feature of my world, which are those ley lines. And so this world, this homebrew existed like several editions of D&D ago. And as I was constructing kind of the like large-scale social facets of mercantilism and inter-empire, et cetera, it occurred to me that teleportation and the impact it has on world events was really too much for me to factor in. Like I couldn't figure in how teleportation would work, so I limited it. And that is what this feature in the world became, was you can teleport within a certain regional area. And after that, you have to cross this crazy, dangerous, magical barrier. But, you know, and I stole that from various novels that I was reading at the times. And you ran through it.
And had to use, and I mean, as soon as you said a character said basically, you're not supposed to use magic while you're in here or things are going to go screwy. It's like, oh, we're going to have to, aren't we? Oh, look, electricity griffins. We're being attacked by electricity griffins. like a Pokemon or something.
Right. Well, and part of that was to drive home the warning, because the reason there were electricity griffins was some stupid pirate that had just stolen a bunch of magical stuff and didn't know it, was flying through the thing, didn't have them properly secured, and so their ship dissolved into electricity griffins. You know.
Yeah. Sucks
so
for
at
them.
least that happened.
That is not so fun at all. Being like your ship turning into electricity griffins.
But it became this brief storyline of Struana as a gnome savior. Like, I ended up with a feather beard by saving someone else's tuchus.
Right,
Nice.
right. Because you hadn't gotten much in the way of offense, but bards start out with a lot of group help, and that's kind of why I set up the encounter in such a way that you were going to have a group of gnomes to help, because that's what bards excel at, especially in that you know, low tier level, early levels. So you guys have the airship fight with electricity griffins. You get a feather beard, but your roommate, Targrud the jerk.
Targrud the jerk. You remembered.
He lost his entire face. Right, which was interesting to, like, they'd had friction and bumped up a couple of times, and you know, he's an evil wizard clearly because he wears black robes, and my world isn't that subtle. It's kind of subtle, but not about that. So then she comes in, and he's just laying like, meh, no face. Like, oh man, little sympathy. You're gonna make me feel sympathy for that? I saw it on your face.
So, like, really, why are you, don't play with my emotions like that. I don't get paid for this. Like,
right.
I just want to be a dork, but I'm not.
And discovered the damage, which was basically like the ship was not going to make it. You had to come up with something. I had no idea what you were going to come up with. I don't know. You came up with a few good ideas. I think this is where we introduced the Gnomish engineer in the engine room and a few of those NPCs. Came up with several clever ideas with fire spells, and then used your bardic knowledge to figure out there's a place you could go, and at least cut wood. Anything flammable would help. And that pretty much closed out the episode.
Mm-hmm. We'd seen the island from the air.
Yeah, we got to do
by the end of that one.
And I mentioned it in episodes after that, but in that description, first off, I'm improvising this whole thing. I'm faking every step of it. No idea what's going on at any given moment. Just stumbling my way through this shit. I had come up with an idea off the top of my head, but I got the wrong color of the gemstone. It wasn't amethyst. It was topaz. I've mentioned it a couple of times later, but that was the episode I screwed that up. So thanks, Internet.
Okay.
For keeping
I'm like rebuilding it in my head now. I was the first one was like, oh yeah, it's purple. That probably means it's evil. It's evil.
Clearly.
Your world isn't that subtle. You're like Disney villain colors.
I don't feel the need to get. I mean, in some games I have nuanced villains like that, but this is D&D. Like, there's a spell to detect if you're a bad person. I know. I can tell the Paladin can just turn it on. That dude's an asshole. He kills puppies and shit. Like, what is wrong with you, dude? So there's a level. Like, there's no real grayscale. Level of nuances in D&D, and I'm okay with that, as opposed to like Shadow.
I was in a previous game that, without realizing it, the DM had every evil character had devil facial hair, like thin mustache and goatee. So like by year 2, we're like, I cast detect mustache.
Right, and especially at this point of the game, I didn't really want to put that level of complexity. We're still getting used to the mechanics. Like, you'd had your first big fight, you were doing some exploration. We had this, the skill, like learning to use skills in the context of, I'm on an airship. What is skill? Like, what skills am I throwing down? So, and this was also my first long-term experience as a D&D 5th edition game. So that was me learning some of that too.
I love 5th edition. I love it so much.
I have had a really good experience with it. As you guys may have noticed, I don't hate GMing it. You would probably know by now if I did.
But for people who don't math good, like me, it's streamlined so much. Like they with that advantage disadvantage mechanic, they've cut the book by 2/3.
Right. Plus proficiency bonus. Like, there's only one number you need to remember. You only need to if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I was definitely able to obsess over the rules and the laws and the math a lot more when I was younger and had more energy and just like, I don't know, wasn't doing other million things with my time. But for those of us who are like, but I'm a busy adult, I just want to get in and game.